Aitah for telling my wife she's just as racist as her parents. I 53 am white. My wife of 30 years Naomi is Japanese. We have 3 kids. This story focuses on my oldest son Kyle 28. When Kyle first got to college he began dating a Japanese girl, and when he introduced her to my wife, Naomi loved her. They didn't end up working out. But for the past 3 years, my son has been seeing Danny, a black girl. My son was in medical school across the country and he ended up meeting Danny because they both were volunteers at a soup kitchen. I remember the first time he sent a picture of her, my wife immediately didn't like her. I'm going to try to phrase this without sounding ignorant myself. But she looks like the urban black girl most think of when African American women. She has the big hoop earrings, the long nails, the long eyelashes. I think she looks stunning, but I've never been in a situation where I was involved in African American culture. Recently my son moved back to our city for residency and Danny moved with him and started law school. They were staying in an Airbnb, while looking for a place, and this week they finally found one. So they invited us over for dinner. Danny cooked soul food and this stuff was amazing. I complimented her food and my wife gave me the side eye. Naomi then pulled out her phone and asked Danny why does she dress like that and why was she twerking in public. Kyle asked his mom what her problem was. I then took the phone to scroll through Danny's Instagram. And while she did have some videos of her having fun, she also had plenty of pictures of her academic achievements. Before Danny could answer I told my wife Danny is young and having fun. I asked did she see that Danny graduated cum laude or all the time she volunteered. My wife looked angry that I would bring that up. Naomi then said that she thinks that Danny isn't good enough for our son. Danny then asked why Naomi loved Kyle's ex so much. She didn't graduate with honors, she has many different boys that she posted on social media. Danny then said it's evident the reason Naomi doesn't like her is because of her race. Naomi doubled down and said so what? I've never heard Kyle even disrespect his mother, but he told her to get the fuck out. Naomi left crying. In the car on the ride home I asked her what was her problem. She asked why didn't I defend her. I said because she was being a racist and a hypocrite and she's acting just like her parents. Her parents didn't like me because I was white. She just said it's different and was just silent on the way home. And when we got to the house she locked herself in the room and started crying. I can't feel bad for her because if someone disrespected my wife the way she disrespected Danny I would have absolutely did the same exact thing Kyle did. But Aitah because I was also harsh towards her in this situation. Update. So I want to mention a couple things. First off, I've been around black people. They were never part of my inner circle until Danny came along. Also I think it is stupid that twerking has a negative connotation. It's just dancing, and the video that my wife found Danny was at a nightclub. She wasn't at church dancing that way. My daughter, Ari, and her mom are very close. So I asked her to breakfast today and we talked. I just asked her if she knew her mom to be racist. She asked why and I told her about the incident with Danny. Ari told me everything makes sense now. She said it was subtle, but when she was in high school, she lost a chess match to a Hispanic boy and Naomi said he must have cheated. But during another round when she lost to a white girl, her mom just said she was really good. She listed a few other incidents, but it was hard to see Ari come to the realization her mom is not who she thought she was. Ari then explained how this is bad because Kyle told her how he was about to propose soon. I guess Ari talked to her before I could because my wife asked how can I bring the kids into argument. I said this argument is about their brother. Our kids are very close so they were going to find out eventually. I said since she's done crying does she want to explain what last night is about. She said it's not that serious. I thought how if my son and Danny got married and had kids I wouldn't be involved if I chose to stay with Naomi, and that's not a chance I was willing to take. So I packed my bag and told Naomi if she's not even willing to talk to me, I can't stay in this relationship. She said stop before I left out the door and started crying again. She admitted to having racist tendencies. She also admitted that she's jealous of Danny. She said she was supposed to succeed like her and be smart like her. She said it's not fair. I said it was fair. Growing up my wife was not poor or had it hard by any means. She had access to tutors, the best schools. I said that's a sad and pathetic excuse. She then said she was losing both of us to Danny. I asked how. She talked about how I complimented Danny's cooking, but don't like Japanese food. I explained how I'm just not a fan of Japanese food, but I was eat it when she makes it. But it can't be about the food because she already had a problem before we got there. I told her I'm leaving. And that until she changes her ways or get help, I'm not coming back. And I'm getting a divorce if she doesn't apologize to Danny and mean it. I've just been driving around since that conversation and I'm hurt that the love of my life is not who I thought she was.